starting on defense, you're going to think that they're the attacking Killjoy and the attacking Astra because they're always flanking. They're always on the opposite side of the map. And that could be a huge problem or a huge thorn in the Renegade side.
Yeah, it really could be. The way these guys create space, especially on a map like Haven, is so impactful. And I do like for Ghost Gaming that they get to start defense. I think they're really good at, especially, I think one of my favorite parts about how they were playing this in the match earlier was their A lobby control. They're great at committing the Astra there, at garnering themselves that space, and at winning rounds off of that control. But the Renegades, they know Ghost does that. They can be ready for that. Yeah. They can fight in. I think that puts a lot onto Roy as well with the flashes, because obviously this comp for Ghost, you don't have an initiator in that way. You only have the Sova and then the Phoenix curveballs. But with Roy on that Sky, he can really shut down some of that aggression early on. All it takes is a quick bird through the wall. That'll force them back. A little bit of spam. Like, you can shut these plays down, but you just have to be ready for them. You just have to be prepared for them. And now the big question, is Renegades ready enough? Are they prepared to come back into this? Are they prepared to bring us a split? We'll have to see, as it's map 2 here. Haven in a best of 3 as this A-lobby fight already off to a rip-roaring start.
And they tried to slow him down with the Nebula Smoke and a recall, but not able to do it. Renegades just push right through. Now maybe getting a bit of a demise here as Chase queues up the hot hands. We've seen this Phoenix, unfortunately, get caught with that out before, so that would absolutely sting if that was the case. The curveball finds nothing. Renegades look to back away, but that spike still hanging out inside the lobby, so a lot of control picked up. And it looks like they want to try and make a play on the opposite side of the map just for some information, right? You see that Killjoy lurking that way, and we'll see what they can get done with that. And Randy Savage slowly creeping up, trying to get some garage control. And now the defense here in Ghost, they go back a 4-point stance across the map to try and stop any plays.
I like that they're spreading out a little bit here. They're just relying on that KJ utility to attempt to anchor things down towards the B site. But the Renegades, they're still edging towards A. Spike committed in towards short, and Winsome considering at least making a play forward. I'm guessing they're trying to bait out some rotation here off of that KJ pushed up towards garage. But still, no one's biting on any of this just yet. No one's moving anywhere. But Renegades, they're actually making a bit of a late round change here. Spike's joining the players towards long. So much pressure onto the Rays here from Ghost.
And this stings because they have to get on the site and plant. And Randy Savage, okay, no, he does get some value. I didn't think he was going to get anything because he was lurking into 3, but he picks up 2. Now the spike gets planted, and there's 5 remaining for Renegades. What a huge pistol round strat here. Sure, they were running low on time, but you pull this one off. I mean, it doesn't matter now that the spike is down, the wall is up. Nismo has nowhere to go, and Randy Savage continues to go to work here. 3K on the round. The Sheriff coming up clutch. The headshots are there, and Renegades getting a bit aggressive. They knife through their own barrier orb. They're trying to run Nismo down. They want to take the Ghost away. Nismo trying to make it hurt, but unable to do so. Only one to fall as Renegades battle back from a loss on bind and grab the pistol.
You gotta feel good for the Renegades. You come off a really tight, really tough loss. You get to start things off strong, dominantly, especially with this huge play from Randy Savage. I, too, was doubting the lurk. I didn't think he was going to be able to get anything done early on, but he finds himself 3 from that position, makes the round in a position where it's unwinnable for Ghost, and I like how slow that was. I like that they're not overcommitting. They're waiting to find out where Ghost is pushing because they know Ghost is going to push. They know Ghost is going to try and make plays, so they just wait it out. Play it really slow. Starve them of information. Do what Ghost does back to themselves. It's fire with fire, and at least it works for a first.
We have seen Ghost win these anti-eco rounds, so they do still have to play this one nice and slow. You don't want to run right into the Sheriffs, especially when they're in the hands of old Dazzle and Nismo on this A site. Qualanoob bringing up the rear as well. Paint shells to try and stop things for a second. Spectre shot goes through, finds a kill onto Dazzle. That's 1 Sheriff off the board. Now 1 more to worry about is Qualanoob. Tries to back him away. Turret to go down on the spike. Now leaving, but Ryan on the flank. The knife comes through. The upgrade only to a Sheriff, unfortunately. Looking for the shots. Should he find Roy, that would also be the spike. Now it's up for Ryan to get out of dodge as Jerk swings back and forth. The jiggle swing, the shots on target, and the A site now opened up.
Am I the only one that was having a little bit of flashbacks to Masters there for a second when I saw that position? I was like, don't let this happen. Don't screw this up. He gets the knife in. They're going to lose the round as it is down to one man, but it's good to get a little bit of damage, a little bit of BM in as well. And honestly, like that could do a little bit more. It shows the Renegades that Ghost is not afraid to just walk up into their spawn to do some crazy stuff. So the Renegades are going to have to be wary of that going forward.
Yeah, I do think if you're looking at wins here for Ghost, I believe Nismo was able to pick up the alt orb out towards C-Long as he gives some extra love there to the player who was unfortunately knifed in the back in Randy Savage. Now just looking to play exits. So this one doesn't swing Ghost's way, but in the next, they should have a fairly solid rifle round. I think Nismo and Dazzle are going to be hurting a little bit though, right? Because they buy Sheriffs into this, so I'm expecting light shields on those two players unless they opt into the Spectres.
Yeah, Nismo, ooh, he's trying to stay alive here for a moment. Pulls $200 out of Jerk. That's something. He will die regardless. So, Renegades keep it nice and clean. 4 left alive into this bonus. Randy's actually going to invest into a rifle. I don't hate this call. Give this bonus round a little bit more teeth. Give it an opportunity to maybe get things rolling early on, because that's what we saw from Ghost in that last game, right? They won the pistol, converted, won their bonus. It started off with a streak of 4. It set the tone in their favor. And our Renegades, they're trying to do that themselves.
So Randy Savage got knifed in the last round and looked silly, so he had to make you look silly in this one by selling that Phantom after you said that they were giving us a bit more. So a little bit of give and take there by Randy Savage. It does end up with just the Sheriff as a whole, but a wall onto the B site would be a pretty simple take here. I say simple, but again, the weaponry in favor of Ghost. We'll see what Renegades can get done with the lighter buy that they have. One plane inside a garage could be a problem, and it is just that as Noob finds one. Ryan is there for the trades, and Randy Savage now the last. Picked up a couple with the Sheriff in rounds previous, but that was against pistols. That wasn't against the full rifles, and Chase gets a bit of revenge here towards C-Link as Ghost pick up their first.
Couple kills there from the Renegades. They put a little bit of damage into that one, but they do reply regardless. One thing I'm going to be interested to see is there going to be an AWP pulled out for Ghost? I think in that previous matchup on Haven, we saw Dazzle pull it out a couple times. It didn't have huge impact, but I liked it regardless. I think if the Renegades are going to keep up this very slow, very chill style, AWPing against them could actually work pretty well. But for now, everyone's just on these rifles. Everyone's chilling out, and this one is going to be the pace setter for this map. Will Renegades be able to start to run away with things on the attack, or is Ghost going to be able to find some consistency now with the rifles as it's Winsome taking the first bit of contact here in towards Garage?
And put in kind of a spooky spot there, right? That blast pack not really giving him the I guess, propelling him in the direction that he wanted, and there was a very slight window should Dazzle have swung. I possibly could found a kill. Would have probably been traded back as 3 were playing out towards Garage, but you like to see that proficiency in these agents to make sure that you are getting out of dodge nice and safe, like as Roy uses a guiding light, now a trailblazer to clear out this A-long area and onto the A side. Nobody actually on the site. Noob very close to it, and the utility is there as well, so no sneaky stuff coming on through. No Splinter Cell tactics from Renegades. They have been sniffed out, and we might find ourselves in a 5v5 retake, and Noob looking to drop the lockdown. We'll see if anybody can play through it. Winsome trying to do something funky. There goes the blast pack. Does it find it? Yes, it does. So they mount their positions on the site. The post plant now in full effect. And Ghost have to try and find a retake, but Randy Savage trying to stop the 2 on the flank. Good for 1. Traded back. Retro picks up a couple. Now Ghost just trying to do as much damage as they can. Low HP onto Nismo. Stuck on the site. Finds 1 kill. Trying to find another. It's all down to Nismo now here in a 1v2 situation. Retro with 3. So from Jet to Sage, the fragging continues, and Renegade grow their lead.
Yeah, Renegade's really nice round there. The blast pack lineup was perfect from Winston. If that had been allowed to come through, we could have seen a different story painted here, because you saw Goats was fully positive for that. They had 2 players ready on the flank to flush out the people that would have been pushed into long. Their whole setup was reliant on that ult, and one little $200 blast pack shuts everything down. This shows me, I mean, we already knew this, but it shows how much time that Renegades are willing to put in behind the scenes to really prepare for these matches, pull out the sneaky stuff, pull out those little tiny things that can win rounds.
Yeah, and it makes using that Killjoy scary. You know, there's not a whole lot of solid spots to place that, and now that stuff's getting sniffed out to counter it, you're really hoping for the rest of the Killjoy utility to be getting all the value as the Marshall shots continue to go wide for Ryan. With that kill, Roy will have the Seekers, and I say continue to go wide, but there's one. Pops the grape as Winsome pops up top and trades it back. A bit of chip damage onto the Rays here, but all's well that ends well. Ghost down to their last 2. Nismo just trying to get something crazy, make it the last one as Jerk swaps to the pistol, closes it out 4-1. And a spike plant on the back end, so some insult to injury. When we take a look at the ult economy, you know, when is Nismo going to look to make that play? When is Ryan going to be able to get that Cosmic Divide online? Those are the 2 players that I really feel like have been star players working hand in hand in both the last series and on that last map.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to have to see if they make plays. But talking about Ryan making plays, I've noticed that the kind of A lobby fight that I kept hyping up, they've kind of chilled out with it. They're committing these smokes, but like we kind of forewarned, they're just getting flashed through. They're getting disrespected right now, and they're losing a lot of control as a result of that. You see early on here, lobby's already completely in the command of RNG. Ghost only has Dazzle on the site. He's going to be forced to play this retake, and the A retakes have just been very troublesome for this squad. However, Randy's in a position to get a freebie here. Ryan overzealous. They lose the Astra early.
So that was one thing that Espred was picking up, right? They were punishing that aggression, but what they weren't doing is just disrespecting the Astra utility and taking a lobby. So I think watching this one on top of their matchup against Ghost is really going to show a whole lot for that team to evolve, because Renegades really putting on a clinic here in this one and warding what feels like the only strategy that Ghost had to try and stop any aggression out towards A. Now a Cosmic Divide towards C. It is going to be a fake, and Dazzle is here trying to sniff it out. Here come the stars, and they should be privy to this. Randy Savage can use a lockdown of their own. Shot through the smoke. Winsome taken low, able to trade some damage back, but no kill just yet as Renegades are still up a player. Roy going to get that plant down, working towards the Seeker. Resurrection available should they need it. And Dazzle forced away while the rest of the squad tries to bring up the rear.
Flank coming through here very quickly, so Randy has to fight this, has to be ready. He has the dink. The frag does follow, but it's a trade quickly. Chase has a double now, working the backlines, and the run it back up. Winsome, next man to face. He tucks in. They run right past. No! Chase ready. Checks on it. Another frag here. Ready. Chase, he's on for the ace. One towards hell. He spots him out. The team should be able to mop this up, but Roy gets one. Time ticking away, and Roy has it into a 1v1. Ace would be needed for Chase, but the time is against him. He needs to go now. Needs to move quickly, but Roy is playing this to perfection, dancing around the box. There's an ace, but it doesn't matter. No time. RNG pull it out.
And the clutch trumps the ace. Chase does it all himself there, but it's not in just enough time. Like you said, Roy dancing around perfectly, and I love this from Randy Savage. He's always watching that lurk. That's something that we talked about for Ghost Gaming, and both times he's been there, he's traded 1-for-1 in a 1v2 situation. You can't ask for much more because you got the kill, you got the information on one of those players. Of course, it didn't amount to much because Chase just went sicko mode on the site. But I love what Randy Savage has been able to do here in this map thus far. And again, through all the heroics, through all the efforts, which we've seen all day today, that round still swings the way of Renegades. They find themselves 4 rounds ahead, 3 ultimates to 3 ultimates in terms of ult economy for both of these squads. Ghost Gaming, they got to try and figure something out here soon.
Ryan's in a spot he could make a play here around the judge, but not going to make it work just yet. Seeker's ready. RNG will commit it, so they're putting actually a good amount of stock into making sure they can pull off this anti-eco as they're quick out towards C.
Hunter sure to try and slow things down. Nice grab. Well, the tag is there. Winsome able to sneak away from the ult, but not the turret as Kuala with the judge in hand at 11 HP. Tries to do some extra damage. Those find themselves up a player, low HP, and unfortunately Roy can't heal himself as Koala swings around the corner, fires some shots down range, and Nismo on the flank. Could get a whole lot. Showstopper used. An interesting position to send this one out. Is going to jump on through into the corner. The shot will go, but it goes wide. Jerk untouched by the ultimate in a 2v2 situation. And this is almost mirrored. The health is in favor of Renegades. Now they have the information. Roy hanging on to the Trailblazer. A frenzy swap in 34 HP is where Dazzle finds himself. Now 1v2 and Jerk running out of time. Forced to just send it, but getting pinched up towards C Long. Trying to clear everything out. The shots from Long. The reload, and Koala Noob goes clutch. A thrifty round win, and Ghost squeak one out.
Koala had so much impact there early on. Gets a frag with the judge, knocks another low enough for his turret to finish out the job. But for Renegades, I don't know how I feel about that play. They're just going slow for them. Mid-rounding it has worked so well, but in this anti-eco, they decide to pick up the pace. They had the Seekers, so it kind of makes sense. But regardless, the Seekers didn't give the full picture. It didn't give them every bit of information they needed. There was still a man in the corner. He shuts things down. And I mean, Ghost will take those. This was starting to get to a dangerous place in way of momentum. And now they have a door back in, and they have aggression down mid, which kills Randy.
And this time it's something different. It's not a push out towards A lobby. It's not a push down C long. It's 3 players out towards B, right out towards mid, and they're able to find a kill. So at this point, Ghost are starting to keep Renegades guessing. As you saw, they had no clue how to play that out towards C long, and Koala Noob still holding it down. A 2-for-1 at the start of this round. Make it another as Dazzle picks one up to creep up onto Winsome towards the B side. As a kill traded back, a resurrection is available, so we do find ourselves in a 3v3.
Ryan wanted to fight there to deny the res, but instead he falls and the res comes out regardless. It stays this 3-on-3. There's a player pushed up towards A lobby. That's Nismo to attempt to fight, and he has a lot of information off of this. The Renegades still just under a minute on the clock. They bait this wall in towards B. Could make this play work, but the spike changes hands. Randy will be the one to place it down. Likely going to get the ult soon off of that. But Ghost, they have a fast flank here. Jerk needs to shut this down, and he will retro one of his own. So now it's Chase alone. And the Molly kills one? How does Randy die to that? He can isolate these now. He has a chance in this, especially since he has the curveball, has the blaze wall.
It has a lot of utility to deny some of this vision. The stars are right on top. Is going to bait out the gravity well and try and sneak away. So not vulnerable. As Chase looks to take a fight here, that wall goes down. Blaze wall, like you said, still available as a Nova Pulse will follow. Holding that headshot angle, Chase. I mean, oh my, okay, Chase finds one now, looking for the next, but running out of time. Retro swings to peak. It's a 4K on the round. The fragging continues, but Chase, again, trying to be the hero that Ghost Gaming needs and just falls short.
I hate to call Ryan out on an individual level, but I think him dying there was one of the reasons that this round slipped away. This was a 4-on-2, but Ryan swings to fight. The resurrection brings it back to a 3-on-3, and no one else from Ghost is in a position to shut that down. They get a free B site. They win the round off of it. That one just hurts. That's a Punisher as well, because it means that Ghost, they've never been able to build a streak of rounds. Everyone they've won thus far, which is it's only 2, has been individual. This eco keeps staying poor, keeps staying bad, and RNG, they keep finding openers.
Dazzle chipped away at 2, so almost a second kill early into this one. Jerk a bit worse for wear. Heal is available. We'll see that Astra and Sage link up. Koala Noob taken off the board. Chase to follow. This was an eco round, so expected to go the way of RNG, but this half as a whole, it seems to be swinging the way. This is going to be 7. So at the very least, Ghost can only hope for a 7-5 as that judge just a bit too far out of range. And Dazzle, who took quite a bit of damage early in the round, will now be the last one to try and clutch the round. 35 health, a Sheriff, a bit of utility, a very, very tall order ahead of him.
Ooh, not even going to be able to connect down to 1. Jerk goes huge in that round. 4K for the man on the Astra. And this mid fight, it just doesn't seem like it's ever going Ghost's way. They keep trying to commit into this. They're like, all right, our A lobby play isn't working. Let's fight mid a bit. But they're just dying off of it every round. They're just losing out on it every round. And now they're in a position where they're down 5 rounds, but they could still pull this back in a big way. They could still pull this into a 5-7, even a 4-8, respectable halves. So I like this timing on the tack timeout. You have weaponry next round. You have ults next round. This is a good chance for them to build back in.
And take a bit of a breather, although I do feel like, for the most part, the game has slowed down, right? It was Renegades who were kind of forcing Ghost's hand, reading their aggressive playstyle, punishing it, and then a couple of rounds come through, and Ghost kind of figure out how to play a bit slower and make it work. Now this slows things down as a whole. I do think ultimately that bodes better in favor of Renegades. And again, it's that buy round that they're taking this time out. So they are going to have weapons coming to this one. Nismo might be a bit worse for wear, but on the defensive end, you can a lot of times opt into a judge and let them run into you. So we'll see if that is going to be the weapon of choice for the Rays. But the rest of the squad, rifles in hand, light shields for Koala Noob. Those ultimates, I'm still taking a peek at them. Koala Noob has been very clutch in the rounds won. Now needs to do just as much. And Chase with the run it back should be a thorn in the side.
They're trying to get something done towards A. This is something they've relented on for the last few rounds, but this time they get it for free. That lobby control finally in their hands, but middle, not so much. Alarmbot does show the push up in towards Garage, but Winsome has made it past.
Yeah, Winsome just taking all the ground. Last time he was forced away. This time is just going to go right on into it. And Koala Noob trying to play the angle. Couldn't find it, unfortunately, as a showstopper. Gets sent out and still finds a kill. Ryan, again, not able to sneak away from that one and punished. That is a cosmic divide and a lockdown taken off the table. We've seen this angle before. Retro with the nice one-way wall. Winsome right behind it, and it's looking like it's forcing a save from the 3 remaining from Ghost. Renegades are going to push to 8.
They know mid control is the issue. That's why we've seen them fight it so many rounds, so many times. But they just can't win that fight. They need to, I don't know. It's hard to say what they change up. You can see that Ghost is struggling to make that decision too, because they fought the A lobby control this time. They had that control, but still mid was instantly lost. And because they committed so many resources towards A, C-site taken quickly, RNG gets aggressive past that, finds more kills. And look at Randy. He's even still pushing into this. He's taking these weapons away. They don't even allow one out. They don't even get a single kill there, Tanner.
And I was praising Ghost for their ability to hang on to the economy and always have a buy for the most part. And Renegades just make that so incredibly impossible. And they've done that here in this game. Obviously, when you're winning, you put yourself in a pretty good spot. If this game was a bit closer, I would love to see how the tides turn in terms of economy. And I mean, swinging back to Winsome and that showstopper, the last second, sending it out and finding Ryan. Like you said, not to call anybody out on an individual level, but that stinks. Ryan has not been able to get online in this game. I believe 4 and 9. And the Astra players is usually who we see at the top of the leaderboard. Just like Jerk.
Yeah, Jerk he's been doing really well. We got to give this man a bit of a shout out because he's a very new addition. I think that Knights event was the first time we saw him play, and well, he's slotted right in here as well. Randy with a bit of a spray wins him on the push up. He's traded quickly there by Retro. There's a play being made by Dazzle, but this is just disjointed. Tanner, they're just pushing out on their own. They're losing fights on their own. This isn't the Ghost we know. This isn't the Ghost we expect. Renegades has them shut down. Renegades is winning this mental battle right now.
Yeah, and completely stolen their confidence. Right? I feel like, again, I said it in the first series, confidence going into gunfights is so huge. And Renegades have completely stripped Ghost of any confidence, not wanting to take fights or taking awkward fights. This is hard to watch. Renegades battle back in such a huge way. And I do think that those last 2 rounds on Bind before finally losing 13-9 was just enough for Renegades to really get a read on how this Ghost Gaming squad wants to play. And the last round of the half, 10-2 on the horizon. And I mean, what a comeback story it would be if Ghost could get it done. 9-3, the best they can hope for, and that's a great start as Nismo finds one on the counterpart. Dazzle goes in with the Hunter's Fury, only gonna find a tag onto Roy, but a good target to do so as Roy cannot heal himself. Chase with the run it back, typically good for a couple of kills, finds the first as Dazzle across the map finds another. Roy gonna toss out the guiding light, finally send the all back, but Nismo is there to answer. Roy must atone for his sins, and Ghost Gaming a near flawless round in response, 9-3 at the half.
Ghost really bringing it back at the end. That's the round. If you're having a tough scoreline, winning that last round is the one you need. It instills a little bit of confidence going into the half, and Ghost has been pretty good at these pistols. If they can win this, there's still very much a chance for them in this map. They are not out of the woods, so the Renegades need to make sure they're not getting overconfident, because we've seen them making a couple mistakes, getting really aggressive, fighting on forward, and while it hasn't lost some rounds yet, it has lost some bodies, and if they don't respect this Ghost Gaming roster, this could still slip away from them.
Now, this being Ghost Gaming swapping to the attacking side, you don't have to be afraid to be aggressive anymore. So now they can come out and they can look to make a statement nice and early in this one. And that does seem to be the case. 4 members, no, make it 3, stacked up towards C-Long. I believe Ryan looking for the lurk. Nismo comes up huge once more. A kill on the counterpart, and that's a lot of utility. That gets a lot of value in the pistol rounds. All the explosives. You wish you had the paint shells, the boom bot, the blast packs, whatever it may be. As Roy narrowly escapes death here. Now looking to peek on through. Ryan across the map. Still being a nuisance on C. Is going to be taken down. Jerk to follow. And from downtown, the fight will ensue, and they're not done yet. Chase low on HP as Retro picks up a couple of kills, stays alive, and should be able to heal his teammate in Roy. But he's across the map. They might possibly run into the 2 remaining. It looks like he will take his leave back towards A. As Retro looks to get aggressive out towards C. And Ghost, they need to make something happen. It looks like it's going to be on B.
I don't know how this round has managed to slip away from them. They just straight up take the brawl towards C-Long, and they just lose out to Retro. Now the players of RNG are able to group up, and tides are turned. Roles reversed as it's the defenders in the attacker spawn. But Ghost have actually made the right choice here. They're headed in towards C. They'll have this site completely for free, and they'll be able to establish this post plant with a KJ alive. There's still a good chance for them in this round. I'd even put them at advantages. Last check with Roy, I think he had 1 flash and then the Trailblazer left up. So utility, it's still there, but a bit lacking for both these players.
The heal was used. It should be up by the time they retake a fight, but with the spike plant, they're looking to go aggressive into the spawn. Roy gonna be the first to contact. Koala takes a bit of damage. The right click lands true, and Retro tries to catch Koala on the way out. The Nano Swarm just going to buy some time. A barrier orb is available, but there's also a Nano Swarm on the spike. A turret to worry about as well. Retro needs to find the last player here. Koala going to do his darndest just to buy some space, buy some time, and is able to do just that. The right click up close and personal. And against all odds and what it seemed like a Renegade's quite possible pistol win, Ghost pick it up.
That round could have gone either way so easily. It was good on the stage of Retro to keep that barrier orb up. We know how devastating that can be in the post plants for pistol rounds because you just don't have the ammunition to spam it down, especially if you have a classic. But fortunately for him, it's a bit misplaced. Rounds won by Ghost. The implication of that is that they could be finding themselves 5-9. They could be very much finding themselves in a position that is quite winnable. However, the Renegades have actually decided to put some stock in this round. Couple sheriffs bought up, couple other upgraded pistols. There's a lot for them to work off of, and even if they're not able to win this, just keeping the damage up, keeping Ghost Gaming accountable could be huge.
Shots down range out towards this B site to try and clear out any Killjoy utility, should it be there. Bulldog in the hands of Chase is quite a bit scarier than a Spectre. You lose a bit of that run and gun, but you still have that assault rifle power, and there it is for the first. Dazzle tosses out a shock dart. Gonna find some damage over towards that A-Link area. So far, it's only that 1 kill, but traded back. Jerk picked one up. It was the lurker in Koala Noob, trying to get some space out towards A. The C side is free. Obviously, that is unbeknownst to Ghost, but it looks like that's gonna be the call here in this one.
Dazzle made his way deep into the site here, cleared space. Now the sound made, so Renegades aware of this play. I think they've been able to recover at least one weapon. I believe it was the Spectre picked up from Jerk's frag. However, time starting to tick away, and here we see the Ghost Gaming Classic, that utility coming out to stall the retake.
And that curveball just to buy time there, not even looking to swing off the back end as Roy tosses out a flash of his own. The guiding light is there. Winsome picks it up with the paint shells, but the kills are starting to funnel on through, and the last two forced to funnel out from this defender-sided area. Retro right next to a Spectre, not going to pick it up, hoping for the jump again, and has the wall once more. Now tossing it down, and is just going to opt into sticking it.
No
I don't
way.
think there's any stars available. The ball doesn't lie. Retro was supposed to win the last, but he lost it. He comes back and he clutches it out in the next.
That is a heartbreaker for Ghost Gaming. Retro, I'm just floored at that. There should be no way that the Renegades win that round. There should be absolutely no shot in a million. Ghost was doing everything correctly, using that utility to fight forward a little bit, buy some time for themselves, but Retro hits whatever the hell that was, an incredible shot, finds himself in a position where his opponent has no utility left. I think Ryan thought they won. Ryan thought the round was over. He was just playing towards long, waiting for the inevitable to happen, but Retro denies that. And now Renegades, they have the money. They have the advantage. They're only 3 away from closing, as Retro again making himself impactful off that opening.
Finds a kill, able to get the heal, also has the resurrection online. So maybe not in this round, but we should be seeing that used for Renegades to try and close things out. And that has to be soul crushing for Ghost, as Chase is able to steal one back early in this. So a 4v4, but again, resurrection online, and a bit of investment from the Ghost Gaming squad. Their economy after losing that one, it stung, but they did hang on to that Bulldog and they put it in the hands of Chase. And it works for just a second. At the end of the day, it just costs a bit of armor for Winsome as he's been resurrected, and shots down range. Koala picks up one, but the flank is there. Retro with 3 on the round, and who better than Chase to trade it out? Winsome stuck on the site, 97 health to a full HP here on Winsome. Trying to battle it out. Ryan now the last one standing, and doesn't bode well. Does have the spike in hand, though, but a 1v3 situation. And again, Ryan has been struggling to get online in this game.
He will have 3 stars if he recalls here, I do believe. So it's a lot for him to work with. He's trying to isolate a duel right now, but with 20 seconds left, can't commit too much stock into this. Peek towards defender spawn. He's comfortable knowing that there's at least no one close. This should give him time to plant and to re-aggress. He needs a fight here. He needs one for free. The Renegades, so long as they play this in the 3v1, it should be unlosable.
Should be unlosable. Like you said, a couple of stars still out and about. Let's see if he chooses to recall those. The guiding light, not going to find anything just yet. Are down on the spike. And so I'm going to hop on. There's the grab. Well, does pull him off, so it gets that value at the very least. Also going to make the player vulnerable. Randy Savage is there. The 1-2 combo. Ryan will fall, and Renegades, some way, somehow, they've managed to not only sneak out the last round, but this one to follow. They push to 11. And like I said, Ghost Gaming, it has to be soul-crushing to lose that previous round.
It's gotta be. I don't know. I wouldn't have hated to see maybe attack sometime soon. Just reset themselves. Because this is another round. Got very close. 1v3. He finds one frag, but the trade was there. So doesn't come into their domain. The Renegades, I think they've just been really good at punishing Ghosts. I don't even know if I want to say aggression. I would say just punishing their default, because Ghosts, they're confidence players. They like taking some of these duels. They like ego peeking occasionally, and the Renegades have just done well to shut that down. That wasn't happening in the S-Bred game, and it feels like the Renegades putting up a very good fight here. Ghost Gaming on the precipice of losing out, of sending it to a map 3 here.
And the wall taken down immediately towards mid. It is just going to be a bluff as Ghosts creep up towards this B site. A player out towards C-Link, a player out towards A-Link, so both of them Gonna be occupied for now. As Winsome gonna be backed away by the hot hands. Paint shells to go on through. Randy Savage trying to find something. Unfortunately, comes up with nothing. The run it back used at the perfect time because Chase was on 8 health, and the Boombot used at the perfect time. Now the Seekers used. Nismo in a tough spot, trying to get bought out by Chase, but Chase eventually will fall. They line up for him, and Roy finds another. There's the showstopper off the back end, and Koala Noob has a very tall drink in front of him. And I don't know if he can gulp it down with just a Spectre and a couple of Nano Swarms. The Pixels come through, and Winsome with the 3K close it out. Renegades to map point.
Huge fight there from Roy, using the Skybirds perfectly to regain some space. They line up for him. He's able to shut down too. And while I liked the call for the quick B, I liked the adjustment from Renegades. It was just as fast. They were ready to shut that play down. And now the money into this last round is looking a little bit rough. This is starting to look more and more like a ticket to split for the Renegades. And if Renegades can close out quickly here, if they can just get a nice little 13-4, that's great for them because they get this over with. They go in with some nice momentum and they can pick things up into split. But if Ghost, if it feels a very far cry for them to win this, but even if they're just able to put a better fight up here, if they can kind of shut down that confidence a little bit towards the end, swing that back in their favor, could be great. And into what could be the last round, Jerk knocked down to 7. The Hunter's Fury converts it.
Yeah, Hunter's Fury used off of just seeing the jump peak there. They get some damage down, and Dazzle just full send with the ultimate, now expecting Retro to peak, and he does do just that. And like you said, this could be what Ghosts need to try and swing some momentum back in their favor. Unfortunately, Dazzle only on 10 HP and has no agent to top him off here. Oh, Roy! How did that just happen? Ryan cannot catch a break, Mimi.
Poor guy. He was having such an impact in that first map in the previous series as well, and he's just getting shut down round after round in this one. Winsome tucked in a tight corner here. It's the perfect bait in. He could go huge, especially if they can just play this together.
So much thrown out at Randy Savage there as they try and back away. Dazzle will finally be finished off there. Only 10 health, so Winsome didn't have to do a whole lot as Koala Noob has assumed so much ground over towards the safe side. It is a 3v3, and the only ultimate online is going to be that showstopper for Nismo. So a winnable round for Ghost as they have to hang out for just a sec as the Nano Swarm buys a bit more time. But 18 seconds is plenty. Blind comes through. Here comes the ultimate now. They spot out one. Winsome able to sneak away from it. The spike will go down, but Winsome still alive. Roy to fall. And the paint shells to back him away. Now in a 1v1 situation. Nismo has to play this perfectly. The turret down. The satchel charge from short. Randy Savage has all the information he needs to close it out in 13-4 fashion.
Oh, Ghost had such a nice start in that round, but they're shut away. The Renegades just looking like the better team on this map. They had Ghost perfectly read. They shut down their usual aggressive antics on the defense, and as soon as they got over to that attacker side, it was almost a foregone conclusion. Picked up a couple big rounds, closed out in nice order. So the series ties up 1-1, and now split. This is one where it's a bit harder for me to set my expectations, because I think we can agree that Bind was kind of clearly a better Ghost map. Haven, it's the Renegades' best map. It would have been pretty crazy if they had lost that one out. But now Split, it's a good one for both these teams, but it's not like their go-to pick for either.
Yeah, no, and the compositions I think that we just saw on Haven, you can see the comfortability, right? Obviously, the Sky is, if not the Breach, the Sky is the initiator of choice on Split. So you have that. Retro can still play the Sage and have just as much value. So I think it does bode well for Renegades. But then